Survival games kinda stink. I'm sorry, okay, but most of them are just poor in quality and frankly, they just suck. A lot of them try to do what Minecraft did, but just do it worse. It's an oversaturated market with a lot of trash in it. But there have always been a few exceptions that have really outshined every single other one of them in this genre. I've already rambled on and on about this subject, so let's not repeat it again. What it all basically boils down to is that 90% of these games are not worth your time at all. But that other 10% is, and there are some actual bangers in here, including a small little indie game called Don't Starve, a viciously hard and unforgiving randomly generated survival game. In Don't Starve, you don't starve. But this is the second game I ever bought on Steam, all the way back in April of 2013. That's a long time ago. All of these games might be fun to play on some level, but Don't Starve actually feels like a polished and finished product with a unique, eerie, horror-esque inspired art style. Be honest with me, okay? What other survival game does this? It's usually either crappy 3D models or 2D sprite work. Don't Starve sticks out like a sore thumb, in a good way of course. I found out about this game through this guy, Sips, a member of the Yogscast, which is funny because it's the same way I found out about Terraria. He wasn't very good, hell, he kinda sucked at the game, but that didn't really matter. It was just really entertaining to watch him fumble around this wacky world filled with weird monsters and items. It looked like a lot of fun, so I decided to get it myself, and I've been hooked ever since. This is also a game almost every Steam user has in his library, and if you don't have it, it goes on sale almost monthly. Almost everyone I know has played this game at one point in their life, but they all drop it when the winter season kicks in. This is, in my opinion, the big main feature that sets Don't Starve apart from the competition. The seasonal changes give the game so much fresh air to work with. The game isn't just forest, raft, or beachy island. I get that some games separate seasons into biomes and add specific enemies and resources in it, but Don't Starve changes the whole world you live in instead of having it be exclusive to a single area. The world around you would change over time when you gotta adapt, otherwise you'll die. There are still biomes, don't get me wrong, but you can only find certain resources in that biome in a certain season. It's not always there for the taking and you gotta plan ahead, otherwise you will suffer the consequences. Like I said before, new players usually die at the start of the winter season because they don't know what to do, which I don't blame them. The game tells you nothing and you gotta discover everything yourself. Don't Starve is filled with stuff to do and it's making you juggle so many tasks that it becomes overwhelming. So let's try to ease it in, alright? First by explaining what each season does. Autumn is your free roam season. Nothing drastic happens in this one and you get ready for what's to come. Winter covers everything in snow and make you freeze to death if you don't sit next to a fire. In spring it will rain drastically more than any other season, so you gotta keep yourself dry, otherwise your sanity drops and you will go insane. It will also rain frogs, which is it's really annoying. And summer, which is in my opinion the most poopy one, makes everything overheat and burst into flames, even your base or boat. This season sucks. All of them also have a seasonal boss: bear, deer clubs, moose goose, and antlion. And they all give you some pretty good resources that you can use to craft some S-tier gear. Like an umbrella, which gives you 100% wetness resistance, or an insulation pack, which acts like a portable fridge. There are also raid bosses like claws, queen bee, and dragonfly. These are enemies with an insane amount of health, and you need to actually strategize to defeat them. Get a lot of armor and healing food ready and try to dodge heavy hitting attacks. The only problem I have with some of them is that you get garbage rewards from them. Like Toadstool, he is this big toad guy with almost 50,000 health. And your reward is a blueprint for a hat that makes your food spoil 50% faster. Yay, I guess? I understand the other upsides it gives you, but does it really have to have a downside? It takes like 10 minutes to just kill this toad. This is just a slap in the face. While you are exploring your world, you will also have to maintain these 3 statuses: hunger, health, and sanity. Hunger is pretty simple. You eat food and it will go up. If hunger hits 0, you start to lose health, and if health drops to 0, you die. But sanity is another thing that makes Don't Starve special in my eyes. This is a mechanic that can make you quote-unquote insane if it is too low. If you're insane, shadow creatures will appear that try to attack you, so you gotta try to keep yourself sane by eating certain types of food, sleeping, or wearing specific clothing. You can also also kill the nightmare creatures for nightmare fuel that you can use to make some really good items. Then there are also hound waves, moon cycles, naughtiness levels, the lunar island, caves, nightmare cycles, specific character abilities, seasonal events, day and night cycles, crockpot recipes. Can you understand that all of this is really overwhelming to someone who just started playing the game? You join a world and the game just gives you this mountain of stuff and says, here, have fun. Smiley face. Don't Starve doesn't give you a break, and that can be stressful as hell. But if you manage to balance everything just right, you will just sit there and say, I'm a god. You build a cool base, get some farms up and going, defeat bosses and upgrade your gear. It's a continuous roller coaster that doesn't want to stop, and I adore the feeling of accomplishment it gives off. If you got scared off before, I recommend trying it again. Be sure you always have enough grass, twigs and wood on you, and try to kite attacks to save up on health. Starving is the least of your problems, so try to focus on other things. The title is kinda misleading, I know. There are also 2 separate DLCs, Shipwrecked and Hamlet. These basically scramble up the whole game by placing you in a completely different world with new mechanics. I've played a lot of Shipwrecked and I love how it alters specific things. I haven't really delved that much into Hamlet, but from what I've heard, it's pretty good. Shipwrecked is a more tropical setting and Hamlet is this jungle sky island with a pig village. It's really weird. And the final thing I want to talk about are the animated shorts. These are so lovely and well made, really showing off how alive and dynamic Don't Starve's world can feel. There's a lot of lore and character development here that is interesting to dive into. My favorite is without a doubt the Shipwrecked trailer. It just captures the magic of the DLC so well, and I love how the music connects everything together. I recommend checking a few of these animations out. I'll leave a link to a playlist in the description. Also, you might be wondering why I didn't talk about the characters. Well, it's because they don't even matter. Weber is the best. I don't care what you say. Please, Clay, if you're watching this, put him into more shorts. I'm on my knees. Like I said at the start of this video, the survival game genre kinda sucks balls, but Don't Starve works really well and I would consider it one of the best. You know, the game feels finished, the rest doesn't. It has an addicting gameplay loop, it's super engaging and fun, and the art style stands out in a sea of garbage. It can be really stressful at times though, but if you manage to climb above everything, it will feel rewarding as hell. I love almost every aspect of this game and it will always hold a special place in my heart. If you are interested in this game, I recommend you get Don't Starve Together, and if you want to check out the 2 DLCs, you get the base game. Together just has more content to offer, and you can also play it with your friends, which is, you know, that's a big W. The base game also doesn't really get updates anymore, so just stick with Don't Starve Together. Now guys, listen, okay? Only a small percentage of people are actually